Hello my beautiful people, you are welcome back to today's tutorial. How you guys doing? I love you all and God bless you all. And please if you are new to this channel, hit on the subscribe button there, and also please turn on your notification bell so that each time I upload the new video you will get notified. I love you and God bless you all. So in today's class, guys, I'll be showing you guys how to cut and sew pants, or you call it long skirt, yes, with front slit using that allowance. Yes, it's really simple and beautiful. And also we need our lining, just full lining. So there is a fabric we're working with, is into fold already. So we'll be needing our bust pan, yes, nipple to nipple, because that is where we'll be placing our dart allowance, which we'll be using to create our front slit. So everything has to sit and match properly. So let's quickly get started. So it's into fold already. Now we'll place our measurement, and from the waist to the hip we are working is 9 inches. Can you see what we have? So the knee is 23 inches, but I'll be subtracting 2 inches for free movement. So now here is now our new knee line to the full length, which is 45, the full length of the fabric I have here. Remember, our lining will be shorter than our fabric. So now that we're done with that, we'll quickly take our ruler to connect it. Sorry, water actually wet here. Can you see what we have now? The waistline, the hip line, the knee line, and the full length of our skirt. So we have to quickly now place our waist measurement. The waist measurement we are working with is 9.5 inches. That is 7 into 4 parts. I place it this place. Remember the waist dart, because we'll be creating our front slit with the waist darts. Yes, so I will add that 1 inch. Don't forget that, which is this. The hip measurement is 46 into 4 parts, 11.5 inches, which is this. At the moment, we have not added our same allowance. So the new line now, which is this, our new line, we will be subtracting 1 inch from the hip measurement. You can work with 1.5 inches. So this is our hip measurement, 11.5 inches. I'll be subtracting 1 inch. It depends how deep you want it to be. You can as well work with 2 inches. You have to be sure that your client can work with it. So this is it. Can you see? Connect it to this waist dart allowance. Let me adjust it. Can you see? These are actual waist measurement. We added 1 inch for the waist dart. So I'll quickly shift it this way. So this is our new line. For those that will prefer to go in with 1.5 inches, it will be this way. Can you see? This is the actual hip measurement. So I went in by 1 inch, which is this line, the one I'm working with. But for those that be working 1.5 inches, can you see this is the third line? So for the down part, that is the full length of our skirt, the down full length of our skirt, I will place my tape this way. Remember, it's 11.5 inches. I will subtract 1 inch to have my round down measurement. I will place in 10.5 inches. So remember that we'll be creating our front slits with our waist dart allowance. We are not adding any allowance for the slits. So as we have added 1 inch for the waist dart here, we'll be adding, because we'll be stitching it to this point, which is we'll be opening our front slits. So I will add the 1 inch this way. So I will connect it to meet my new line. And you see what we have. I won't be adding it here because I don't want a bulge around this area. For those of you that have already watched my video and know how to get rid of bulge, don't be confused here. The reason for this is because is the front slit, the dart will get rid of the bulge. So there's no need to subtract 1 inch here, which is the hip line, to place it on the to add it to the back panel. There's no need for that. By the time we place our dart, remember the moment in our dart is going to be straight now. From the down part, we'll find our nipple to nipple, notch it, so you can see that 1 inch, everything will last. And remember, we'll also be placing that on the other part. Yes, so that is it. So now that we're done with this, let me quickly adjust it this way. To find our nipple to nipple is 4 inches, which is 8 inches into fold is 4 inches. So 0.5 inch, which is this I've added. I will place it this way. This is our nipple to, that's our bust pan. So for the dart now, I will place that length of 7 inches. Or rather, from your hip line, step upward by 1.5 inches. This is another secret how to get the bulge permanently. 1.5 inches. Then connect it from the but for the back panel is only 1 inch. So you can see this is it. You know, one side will be opening one side for our slit. Now let's assume this is not the part where we'll be opening as our slit. So we connect it half inch, half inch. Can you see? So by the time we finish, let everything blend and end here. So this is how our waist dash should look like. Let me adjust it. Can you see? I repeat, I step up from the hip line by 1.5 inches, or from the waistline place 7 inches. This now is the dart, waist dart. But at the moment, I won't cut it open. I will only notch it because we'll be using to create our front slit. So this is it. Don't forget that. So now that we're done placing our measurement, we have to clean now, cut it out. This is how we cut it out. Remember, from the waistline, sorry guys, step down by 0.5 inch. But for the back, leave it straight. Can you see what we have now? Can you see? So let's quickly cut it. 0.5 inch. Can you see? So now we have cut the waistline. So let's quickly now place our same allowance. I'll be working with same allowance for just 1.5 inches. Yes, I don't need much of this. 1.5 inches. Can you see? Connect it as well. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Can you see? Can you see? 1.5 inches to the full length of our, excuse me, actually I have my ruler here, I'm just tracing myself. So this is it. Can you see what we have now? So we're cutting out this. So let's quickly cut it out. So we'll be cutting our line in the same way. Can you see what we have? Blend it properly, make sure everything sits properly. Can you see what we have? Notch. Can you see? It's that. So now we have to quickly now place our back panel. We'll place it this way. So we are done placing it. This is the front space. Can you see? So this is the back piece. This is our zipper allowance. Let me mark it so you guys can see it better. Can you see? This is our zipper allowance. We'll be working with the zipper allowance of 2 inches. So for the waistline, I will place the 2 inches. Can you see? The back waistline, as I said earlier, don't go down, it's straight, because back is high. Can you see? Let me adjust it. So this is it. So for the hip line, that is the hip line, we'll be placing 3 inches to create a space for the butt to sit. So this is it, 3 inches instead of 2 inches. So we'll mark and we'll connect it this way. Remember, this is our hip line. Don't forget that. Can you say? This is our knee line. So for the knee line is 2 inches. Exactly what you added on the waistline, 2 inches. Can you see? So we'll connect these 2 inches to meet these 3 inches. The 3 inches just for the butt area. Yes. So we are done with the upper part. So we adjust it this way. Remember, the front panel we added 1 inch that we added for the dart allowance because we'll be creating our slit with that. But the back panel don't need that. So at this moment, let me quickly place the zipper allowance 2 inches. Let me connect it first for better understanding. Can you see? So it's just this upper part, the hip area, that is curvy. So for this part now, whatever we have here, we have 12 inches. Let me adjust it. We have 12 inches for the upper part. Can you see? So I'll be subtracting, and what that moment is 13.5 inch because of the same allowance. So I'll be subtracting 1 inch. So I should be placing it 12.5 instead of 13.5 inches. Exactly what we have here. So I will put this way. 2 inches. This is our zipper allowance. Don't forget that. So from this point now, these 2 inches, I will place 12.5 instead of 13.5. So I subtracted that 1 inch that I added. So I will connect it this way to meet the knee line. Remember, I will not add on our knee line. So this is it. So the back panel is straight because we are not adding slit to that. Can you see? To meet this our knee line. Can you see? So from this point now, we'll connect it this way. At the moment, both same allowance is included. Can you see? We subtracted that 1 inch. Can you see? We added because of the front slit. So let's quickly now cut it out. This is the upper part, the butt area. So we'll place our scissors out this way. Can you see? So this is how it should look like when you are done cutting it. This is the back waistline. The front waistline went in by 0.5 inch. Can you see? Because the back is higher because of the butt. So for the hip line, can you see? Instead of placing 2 inches zipper allowance, I added 1 inch, making 3 inches here to create space for the butt to sit. This line you're seeing here, this part is the same allowance, just 1.5 inches. So this is the waist, same allowance, that is this 2 inches zipper allowance. So let me blend this part properly. My table is obstructing. So this is also the 2 inches. Can you see? On the zipper allowance, what we have here is just only added because of the butt to the full length of our skirt. So but for the front panel, this is the back panel. This one here is the back panel. Why this is the front panel? The front panel, from the back panel, we subtracted that 1 inch that we added. Remember, we added 1 inch here, which is the front panel, because we are creating a slit with our that allowance. So we added 1 inch, exactly what we added here. So also don't be confused that I didn't subtract this. Yes, I didn't subtract this waistline because the back will be adding that on our waistline at the back. Yeah. So this is it. So this is our waistline. So let's quickly raise it. So can you see this is our hip line? Let me quickly connect it also. For the back panel, while adding your waist dart, you step up just by 1 inch. First, indicate the 4.5 inches. That's the nipple to nipple, which is 4 inches plus 0.5 inch. which is this. Can you see? I'm doing exactly what I did on the front panel. I will step up by just 1 inch because this is the back panel. Back is higher, so I will connect it. So I will add 0.5 here, 0.5 here. Here I will not be cutting it out. I'm just showing you guys when placing your dart. To get another secret on how to get rid of budge is this. So this is it. But from this, the front panel now, we step up by 1.5 inches. Can you see the difference? This is the back panel. So that is it. So now we quickly cut our lining too, and now move over to our sewing machine. I'll be cutting my waistband when I'm done fixing my lining. So you can see we are done cutting our lining. Can you see? Our lining is 1 inch shorter than the fabric, as I said earlier. So we want to stitch now, because in this our class, our concentration is on the front slit, how to create front slits with our dart allowance with ease. So we'll place it this way, and you see what we have now. Place it, make sure everything matches. We'll run a straight line stitch, right side of our fabric facing right side of our lining. So let's quickly do that. At the moment, I won't be using a matching thread. I want you guys to have a better view. But when making yours, ensure you use your matching thread, and also don't draft on the right side. I did that for a better view. So I'll be stitching by 0.5. You can stitch by 1 inch. I've stitch. So this is down part of our skirt. You can see. So let's stitch. And machine stitches. It's not that side, so I have to quickly rectify it. That's it. So we are done. Can you see? Stitching the down part of our skirt. This is it. This is the waistline. You can as well notch it, or when you're done to place it this way, you know I've already cut it out 1 inch shorter. So this is the waistline. Make sure you stretch it this way to check, to make sure. Can you see it matches on the waistline, so it's equal now. So I can stitch on it right now this way. Place it, that's it. Can you see? We will stitch it to the waistline on the both sides. You see? The reason of making your line 1 inch shorter is that you know it's a long full lining. So by the time you put it on, it will not be budging off on the down part. So you follow your hip line this way. Can you see how everything matches here? Can you see? So that's that to me if you're on right track. Place it. Can you see? Attach it. So the other side, can you see? I will do the same thing I did on this other side to be sure. So I will place it to make sure the waistline, because I've already subtracted 1 inch. So I will place it, stretch forth my hand this way to make sure everything sits properly. Or you can as well notch it while cutting. Can you see? This is the waistline. This is the damp part of my dress, of my skirt, sorry. So I'll face this way, can you see? And let's stitch. So place it now to stitch also. Place it this way. Reverse stitch. As you stitch, you check to make sure everything is aligned this way. Place it properly to check so that the line everything will sit properly. Stitch. You check. Can you see? To be sure that everything matches. Can you see? You check. Place it properly. So I stitch now. Can you see? Stitch. Can you see how everything matches? See this side. Place it. As you stitch, you check to make sure everything elapses. Can you see? So I stitch. I'll be trimming out this unwanted part of this lining. I back it. So can you see what we have now? So this is it. This is how it should look like. Can you see? So now that we're done with this, so we'll take it to our ironing table, give it a very nice press, flip it this way. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? Flip it this way. So find the midpoint. And you see, let me quickly take my chalk. I'm done stitching it. Can you see? This is how it should look like. Can you see? So I decided to come over to the table once again for better view. So this is it. So when you fold it, where I've marked chalk, can you see is like this, the midpoint. So I have marked the chalk there. So for the slit, you could decide to, let's quickly find our knee length first. Our knee is 20, excuse me, 20 inches. Can you see? So this is the midpoint. Let me quickly collect my straight ruler. So from this midpoint, which is this, remember the nipple to nipple we're working with is 4 inches plus 0.5 inch, same allowance, making it 4.5 inches. So from this midpoint, I'll be placing 4.5 inches, which is this. Can you see? This other side, when you place it to make it complete 9, because it's now open, it's not into fold again. So this is, so from this point now, I will take my ruler. Can you see? To place it there. Can you see? This is the line. Make sure everything relax properly. Can you see what we have? So from this line, I will mark this one as well, the 0.5 inch. Can you see? I will also mark this 0.5 inch to meet this. Can you see what we have? So we'll be stitching now on this. Can you see? Stitch this way. So by the time we are done, when we place our tape on the center, that's the middle of the dress, see, we'll be having exactly 4 inches. Can you see? Everything will sit properly. So for the upper part, we will do that, but I want us to quickly do this and turn it before placing our lining. So now let's quickly move over to our sewing machine now to stitch on this line. Can you see? We'll stitch it this way and notch and turn it out. So let's quickly do that. So we stitch now, back stitch, make sure everything matches. Adjust it. Can you see? Can you see? Adjust it once again. So the slit opening is optional. You can do more than your knee line. Yes, it's optional. So I'm okay with this. So make sure everything matches. Can you see? Now this one back stitch. Can you see? I will turn it this way. Can you see my stitches? Can you see? So I turn it this way. I back stitch as well. Can you see? Turn it this way. This is the reason I use black thread. So can you see? I will take it down. The stitch now. Can you see? Make sure everything matches. Can you see? Just it this way. Can you see? We stitch. Can you see? Back stitch. I have to quickly rectify this part. That's a little budge. I didn't place it properly, so I have to place it properly. Remember, it's the front slit. Everything should relax properly. So decide to stitch it from this part. My line is obstructing it. You see? So trim out unwanted thread. Can you see? So now that we are done now stitching it, can you see what we have? So quickly take our scissors to open it this way. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? Cut it open. Can you see? When you get to this point, you notch it this way. Can you see? Notch it this way. Can you see what we have? So we have to clean now. Turn our lining this way. Can you see? So turn the other part. Can you see? So now that we are done, excuse me, we'll place it to make sure everything relaxes. So you place it this way. Can you see? Everything matches here. So I will adjust it this way. Can you see? Can you see what we have? So from this point now, I will stitch it now. But before then, I have to quickly now cover up the waistline so that the lining will not obstruct it. So we'll place it this way. Stitch it. To make sure everything sits properly, place it. Sorry guys. Can you see what we have here? So now that we are done opening it, so we have to flip it this way. Can you see? We'll be stitching it this way. But before that, make sure you give it a very nice press. I can't do that right now. So place it this way. Pin it down to make sure everything matches because this is front slit. Take your straight line pin. To pin it down, place it this way. Can you see? And you see how everything matches now. So I will flip it this way now. So I'll be stitching now from this at this tip, can you see? To meet my waist dart. So let's stitch. You see? Why would you not add that 1 inch on the hip area? We only added on the waist and the down part. So make sure everything relaxes. So you can see this is our dart now. Can you see? So now we'll place it properly. Make sure you're lining everything with your fabric. The main fabric sits properly. So I will stitch now. When you get to the waistline, remember it's 1 inch. That is 0.5 inch. 0.5 inch. So you place it this way. Can you see? So you stitch. You can stitch. Can you see? So let's quickly now remove our straight line pin. Can you see, guys? We haven't ironed it yet, but it's already looking beautiful and neat. So let me quickly remove this pin as well. Can you see how relaxed it is using our waist darts? Can you see? So you can see what we have, how neat it is. Can you see? We'll remove the thread. This is the right side. Can you see the wrong side? You just give it a very nice press. Everything will relax. Can you see? So for the second dart, remember I've marked it. Look at it. Can you see? Exactly where we marked. I've already fixed this one. So by the time we add this waist dart, we have the nipple to nipple, which is 8 inches. So let's quickly do that. So I will turn it this way. On the front panel, I told you guys step upward by 1 inch, 1.5 inches to place your waist dart to avoid bulge, or from the waistline down, just place your tape 7 inches. So let me quickly take my chalk. Can you see? Place it properly. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? So you place it this way, 7 inches. So I'll stitch it this way to add my second side dart. So can you see? That's it. Can you see? And you see the second dart. So this is it. This is a bit rough. Can you see? I'll quickly rectify it. Make sure you give it a nice press before placing your darts. So this is it. Can you see? This is the second dart. This is the first dart with slit. Can you see? So let me quickly stand up and show you guys. We'll also be working on the back panel, but let me quickly show you guys this. So let me quickly put this back panel side. So this is it. Can you see what we have? So can you see the dots? Can you see the slits? Can you see how neat it is? Can you see? So the back panel is just the same method. Stitch it the same way. Make sure you give it a very nice press. And you see how neat it is. And you see how everything relaxes here. So let me turn the back panel the wrong side. Can you see? This is a slit. So I'll turn it this way. Can you see? This is the reason I use black thread so you guys can have better view of what I'm talking about. Can you see? For the hip waistline, I went in more. Let me adjust it this way. Can you see? This is the waistline. Can you see? This is the second dart. Time will give it a very nice, everything will relax. Can you see? You can decide to go in more than this. Yes. But I'm okay with this. Can you see? Because I didn't add any dart allowance here. If you can remember while we were drafting, I only added on the waistline and the down part. Yes. So that's what I did. So this is it. Everything matches here. Can you see? Everything relaxes here. Give it a very nice press. Can you see? Everything sits properly. This is it. So it's really simple, guys. The button I've placed on it. This is it. Can you see? So I will quickly take it to my sewing machine, add my lining, close it up, put it on and show you guys. Add my waistband. It's really simple, guys. So please, if you find this my video interesting, please click on the like button there. Please share my video. Yes. And please, if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe button there. And also please click on notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you will get notified. I love you all. I remain Chi Living Signature. Bye for now.